One curse of being self-employed is that sometimes a job is canceled on short notice. And of course, the blessing of this curse is to free up a day for a solo sail. This is exactly what happened on Memorial Day this year. My first order of business was to reinstall the outboard after having it serviced following its break-in period. And with a short trip in a dock cart, a few turns of the clamp screws, the motor started right up and I was on my way. With the holiday underway, the city was flying the large flag, and the flag showed some evidence of light yet steady breeze. One of the things I like best about single-handing a boat is the challenge of performing all the operations of the boat without assistance. Of course, there are a few tricks to doing this, one of which is using the tiller tamer. The use of this device allows me to move forward to raise or lower the sails or perform other tasks on the boat while underway. Motoring up and around Sand Island, I made my turn into the wind to raise the sails. This is when the tiller tamer comes in handy. Here I check and adjust my course, check around for boat traffic, and run up to the mast to raise the mainsail. With the mainsail set, I run back to adjust my course, and then head forward once again. One last look around for boat traffic, and I hoist the head sail. And with the sails set and trimmed, the sound of the wind becomes clear. One thing about sailing on the Columbia River at the end of a 3-day weekend is all the pleasure boats homeward bound. and today they were coming through in droves. These powerboats throw good-sized wakes, and I love the feel of brass ring, close-hauled, cutting through the 3 to 4 wave sets from a close passing boat. With the multitudes past, one last sailboat motor sailed upriver, and of course did not throw off a wake.
Well, after making some good progress downstream with the current, and becalmed, not much wind, sails are just kind of flapping, and yet they're still moving pretty rapidly relative to the shore. Zoom in, you can probably see we're basically moving sideways. And not really moving forward much at all. Sailing the Columbia, we're going sideways. All the way up there. As far as you can see there, that's St. Helens. I think it's almost 2 o'clock. So, let's see. Maybe the wind will come up. And maybe it won't. That's sailing.
Drifting with the current, I was able to check out a sailboat up high and dry on the shore. We had seen this boat before about a year ago anchored near this location. I remember thinking at the time how exposed this boat would be to the wind, waves, and current. Well, it looks like this time the river won.
And once again, we've got just a little bit of wind. A little gust of air coming up the river to meet us. So, making some headway again. Still going downstream. No hands.
With the tiller tamer, I like to try to get the boat trimmed just right and see how long I can go hands-free. It's kind of like a game. That wasn't too bad. I couldn't get too relaxed. A powerboat, straggling behind the others, was headed my way, and gave me one last wake to cut through. Sometimes it's just the little details that make sailing enjoyable. Things like how the shadows move on the boat. Or how the boat moves in relation to the water and surroundings. Or just the sound of the wind. I made my turn back upriver at Red Buoy number 60, and as I rounded the buoy, I could really see just how fast the current was running. I was hoping that the wind would be strong enough to push me home, but soon I found that I had to start up the motor if I had any desire to get back home before dark. Well, at least this gave me some time to jot down a few items in my logbook. In all my experience sailing in the open ocean, which really only amounts to watching YouTube videos, it seems that one common experience is the wayward bird landing on a boat for a rest, some food, and maybe a short ride. We often have similar experience sailing on the Columbia River, just on a smaller scale. Honeybees, crossing the river from nearby farm fields, often land on our boat, where they seem to rest, warm up, clean themselves, and then fly off to continue their journey. Heading upriver in the spring, one must always be on the lookout for large wood debris in the water. On this day, I passed a few doozies that could really wreak havoc if hit. Passing some of the larger logs makes me wonder where they came from. Whether they passed through the dams up on the Columbia, or if they came over Willamette Falls. And then I think about the large ships in the river that probably just plow right through these logs like toothpicks. The day ended with a race against a car carrier headed upstream. They made short work of my 6-horsepower motor and easily blew right past me. Overall, it was a pretty good day on the water, and since I was originally supposed to have a job, I considered this to be a bonus day. Thank you for watching this video, and please stay tuned for more. Until next time, sail on.